All right, shalom, Yasharala. Giving all praises, honor, glory, and for the blessings unto our powers, which is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha, Hak, Wadash. I'm the brother Tazayar from the Camp Company of Prophets located here in Tampa, Florida. Giving double honors to the other bishops and to the other apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and that teach well. As always, blessings, citations to the hopeful elect, to the Akim, and to our Quaf that are tuning in, and to the men laboring within his truth, scattered across the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be. Yahweh Bashima Shai Barakatham. And this is just a simple, quick breakdown on Daniel's, the 7th chapter, from verse 1 to verse 8. Okay, so let's get into it. Starting with Daniel's chapter 7 and verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Daniel, being a prophet of Yahweh Bashim Shai, okay, around this time he was living within the Babylonian Empire. Okay, and it says, in the first year of Belshazzar, which was the king, the last king to rule Babylon before it was taken over by the next empire. And it says, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. So he was receiving visions and dreams, okay, as he was sleeping. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. So as he awoke to remember what he was visioning and receiving, okay, from the Lord, all right, he wrote it down, exactly what he saw. All right, verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my visions by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, which that great sea is talking about the Mediterranean Sea. Verse 3, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. All right, you heard what he said. Four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. So they were different. All four of these beasts were different. They were not the same. And when you hop down to verse 17, it tells you what these beasts are because they represented something. All right. So Daniel 7 and 17, these great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. So what he was really seeing were four kingdoms, empires, all right, that would come, into power, okay, but they were represented as beasts. Verse 4, the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. And this is going into the Assyrian Empire. A great example that shows you that it's going into the Assyrian empires because of the Assyrian artifacts that they have back then. All right, they have a lion with a person's face on it, and it had wings. It's a good, example of that Syrian, artifacts of which you can tell. All right, this is what is describing. It says, I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, meaning they were taken out of power. All right, so the Syrian Empire was taken out of power by the Babylonian Empire. That's when the Babylonians came into rulership, all right, by absolving the Assyrian Empire. All right, that's why it says the wings were plucked. And it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man. And a man's heart was given to it, which going into the king of Babylon, which was Nebuchadnezzar. All right, and that's that man. Okay, that stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. All right, verse 5. And beheld another beast, a second. So this is the second beast, which Daniel was seeing within his vision, his dreams. All right, so he's seeing these beasts taking each other out one by one, which goes into empires that are fallen by the next, the next power to rule. All right, the next empire to rule, which this is all by the Lord's will. All right, because as you see, the Lord was dealing with each empire, because we know that promotion comes not from nor the east or the west, but it tells you how it comes from the Lord. All right, and that how Yahweh set up put up one down, set up another. All right, so Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai was dealing with these empires. All right, the upbringing of one and the downfall of them. All right, Salakia. So Daniel 7:5, and behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side. Okay, and that second beast is going into the Medes. Okay, the Medes and the Persian empires. All right, and it says like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, because within the rulership of within the Medes and the Persians took over the latter end of that rulership, of that empire. They were more great than the Medes. Okay, the Persian army, military, were more powerful, and even more, even had more, because you can literally, I said this in the last video, but you can literally, watch the series of the 300s, and you see the Persians and how great they were. That's how the Persians were. All right. So within the latter ends of within the Medes of ruling, the Persians took over that empire. Okay, the Persians were next, to rule. And it says, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. So Daniel was seeing a bear with 3, with 3 ribs. It's in his mouth. Okay, and it's going into Libya, Egypt and Babylon. Okay, those previous conquered places, realms were taken over by the Persians. Okay, so now they own that territory, that that land over there. And it says, and they said thus into it, arise, devour much flesh, because they were conquering. All right, they were very fierce within that time. All right, and only because the Lord was dealing with them. All right, not because of their armies, or because of their rulers, but it's because the Lord was allowing these people to come into power and to be able to conquer. All right, as they did. Verse 6, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, going into Alexander the Great. And he's represented as a leopard. It's because how he came into power so quickly, and how he got dominion over all those realms over there so fast. All right, and a leopard is very swift, going into its fast. Okay, and strong. All right. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard. So this is going into the Greek Empire. Okay, Grecian Empire. It says, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. All right, so the 4 wings of the fowl and the 4 heads are representing, both the 4 generals, of Alexander the Great, in which he parted his realms between. All right, and if you could do some information and you search up, Alexander's, trusted generals, he parted the realms with the land. It'll tell you. All right, I know I know a couple, but I don't know them off the top of my head. To just give it to you. I don't want to just give you the wrong thing. All right, but this is what it's talking about. Okay, so it says the back of it, 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Yeah, because they were ruling. All right, the Lord was dealing with them, and once they were very great. The Greek army was, they were like that. And a lot of people didn't even believe, that the Grecians would take over the Persians. Okay, will conquer over, the Persians, man, because once again, within that time of the Persians ruling, they were like that too. They were very great, okay, strong. They had a very big military, army, for us to be reckoned with. But the thing is, the Lord was dealing with Alexander the Great. Okay. And so that's why he was known to be known as Alexander the Great. All right. And to dominate, and conquer all of that land. All right. Verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions and beheld a 4th beast. So Daniel's, having, this is what he's seeing within his visions, his dreams, which the Lord sent unto him. All right. He's seeing a 4th beast. And this 4th beast is going into the Roman Empire. All right. It says dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, because they were very mighty. They were strong. Okay. They were not like the last, armies, the last empire. All right. Because, they were really like that, man. Going into their tactics of their military. Okay. Going to also, how they taken everything they learned from the previous empires and kingdoms that they've, before, and they put it within their own arsenal. So that's what made them so strong. And not only that, it tells you, it says dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. That great iron teeth is talking about sword. Okay, they had the iron. Okay, because they made a lot of their weapons, okay, out of iron. All right, but they also had this one very advanced weapon known as a short sword. It was very convenient for battle, very light. All right, but that really changed the whole game of how war was, being, how they would be able to conquer, okay, and why they were so fierce. All right. And it says, it devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. All right. Because once again, man, these people were conquering, man. They were conquering the land. At that time, they were that power. All right. Which was feared. They will come down on you. All right. Very great army. And it says, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. So it was different. All right. And what made it different from all these previous empires and kingdoms is that, the previous empires and kingdoms was ran by a monarchy. Okay. A monarch, which was a king. All right. They had kings that would, would be control over, the wealth, the military, the land. All right. But what made Rome different is that they had a Senate. Okay. They had a Senate house. All right. To where they would be elected. And that's what made them different. I'm saying it says it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Okay, and that 10 horns goes into the major Edomites. Hold on, Slovakia. If you bear with me for a second. It goes into the major Edomite groups which ruled over the empires. And which today those 10 horns would be known as the EEC. the European Economic Community. All right, but back then, those 10 horns were called the Franks, which were the French, France, Alemanni, which is Germany, Lombards, Slovakia. I got a call out of nowhere. It was a random call. But back into it, Lombards, which is Italy, Suevi, which was Portugal today, the Anglo-Saxons, which is England, Burgundians, which is Switzerland, the Visigoths, which is Spain, the Heruli, which is extinct, the Vandals, also non-existent, extinct, and the Ostrogoths was also extinct. Okay, and we know that these things, okay, these they're back here today again. Just how the Roman Empire is here again. Through America. Okay, that beast system. All right, in which these EEC, okay, these 10 horns are now apart with NATO. They have taken alliance with NATO. Okay, so thus you have the NATO in the EU. All right, but verse 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up another, there came up among them another little horn, which is going to America. All right, that little horn is going into America. All right, it says, before whom there were 3 of the first horns, and those 3 of those first horns is going to Spain. All right, France, and Britain, in which we already know that America came from out of Britain. All right, and it tells you within here, it says, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. All right, because they had a major war to where America got its independence from, because you already had France, Spain, and Britain that had land over here in the Americas. All right, but America had made a name for itself within that war and established, the dominance. So that's why they have, that's why it's called America now. They own this. All right, and it says, and behold, in this horn were like eyes, Salakia, and this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things, because America is against the Lord. All right, they speak very great, things against the Heavenly Father, the Scriptures, the begotten Son, the blasphemy. Okay, its dealings is very unrighteous. All right, but this was just a quick, simple breakdown of Daniel chapter 7, verse 1 through 8. And Lord willing, it was edifying. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and infinite blessings unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha, Hakwadash, the Wada Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, for giving me the Rakha, Hakwadash to do this lesson. Till next time, I say Shalom and Baba soon. Shalom.